Here's my implementation for the search photos by phrase button touch-up. At the top, I have declared this constant method arguments, and this contains the arguments for our hard-coded request. And then I call this method getImage from Flickr by search and pass it the method arguments. You don't have to split it off into a function like I've done, but I've done this for convenience here. And we'll go down, and here is the function. So the first thing I do is access the shared NSURL session using this shared session call. And what we get back, this session object here, this is going to facilitate the downloading or the sending and receiving of data over the network. Next, I need to init a NSURL request, and to do that, I start by concatenating the base URL, and this is declared up here. Let me go up to the top and show you my constants. Here's the base URL. This is always part of any method call to Flickr, so this never changes. And then we have our method name, and these are the other parameters that I'm passing. Make sure you pass this extra URL_m. We'll need that later. And so I use the base URL, and then I pass all those arguments to this function called escaped parameters. So let's talk more about this escaped parameters function. What this function is doing is it's ensuring that every method argument that we have is getting converted to its proper escaped form. So we'll take a look at the Flickr documentation to explain the escaped form, and I'll look at this segment right here. Notice that we have the ampersand that goes in front of the name of our argument, and then the value that we pass for text, it was Atlanta Braves. This is our search query. And you can see that we've replaced the space with a plus. We also have the equal sign, so this is like our typical key equals value. And you see this going down the line. We can see it for extras. Extras equals URL_m. Format equals JSON. So for any of the arguments that we pass to our method, we want to convert them to this form. And that's what that escaped parameters function is doing. And the reason that we have to do this is that when we are passing URLs over the network, we can only use ASCII characters. And if you need more of an explanation on this, I've attached a link in the instructor notes that you can read up on. So once this is done, we have our NSURL request and we have our shared session. We can use both of those together to create the data task. That's what's getting returned here. And then this is our completion block for what happens when the data task finishes. So we have access to data, response, and the download error. And if a download error occurs, then we'll print some error message. Otherwise, for now, let's just print the data. So I'll go ahead and run. So let's go ahead and run this, and we'll click the search button. And you can see over here we're getting some response, but it's all these mangled, crazy looking numbers. And this isn't garbage. What this is our data in a raw format. And we'll learn how to correctly parse this in just a moment.